Welcome to my studio. My name is Jill Lindsay, otherwise known as Jill the Artist, and I'm here to talk today about alcohol inks. I'm very excited about this topic. It is one of my favorite mediums to work with because they are so colorful and vibrant. So I can't wait to get started. What I'm going to talk about today is where the inks came from, the different brands, substrates you can use, what you need to get started, the finishing touch, and some resources. First of all, where do these inks come from? Well, back in 2004, Jim Holtz with Ranger Products created them, and we have been inking ever since. What brands are out there? Whoo, there's a lot of them. Ranger, of course, started, and they have a multitude of colors and wonderful, wonderful inks. And there's Pinata inks also that have a great variety of colors. There are many other brands out there too. I would just give them a try and see which ones you like the best. So substrates, what can you put the alcohol ink on? Well, it has to be non-porous. That means that things can't soak inside of it. And that would be glossy tile. It's a great, inexpensive way to get started. And then there's Yupo paper, which is polypropylene or plastic paper. It's a wonderful substrate to use for alcohol inks. They slide around beautifully. Then there's aluminum. I mean, honestly, anything out there that's slick, glass, ceramics, just give it a try and see what happens. So what do you need to get started? Absolutely 91% alcohol. A glossy tile, some alcohol inks, paper towels for sure, and maybe some Yupo. So I'm going to demonstrate on a glossy tile. It's going to be an abstract painting. All right, here we have our 4x4 tile. It's a glossy white tile that I got at the big box store for 16 cents. I have my Ranger inks. These are the 3-pack that I'm going to use today. Watermelon, citrus, and sailboat blue, which are these here. You'll notice on these I did take a Sharpie and put a label on it that was bigger and easier for me to read. So I have my 91% alcohol and some extra paper towels because heaven knows I'm gonna probably need them. Remember, I'm not wearing gloves. You don't have to wear gloves, but you can if you want to. So this is the citrus, and very carefully I'm gonna pop that on there. So yeah, just it looks like I'm using a lot, but not much is coming out of these bottles. It is beautiful already. I'm gonna put a little sailboat blue on. You just watch what happens. These beautiful rings form, and the ink pushes the other ink away, and yeah, a little bubble just popped because of that. So you can see the green with the blue, it turns into a really deeper green with some in the middle. And if we put another drop on there, oh, watch out. Isn't that something? It's just that alcohol in there is pushing the pigment from the green away. And now that sailboat blue is really taken over. So let's see what happens when we throw on a little red. I love this watermelon color. Yeah, see, the same thing is happening. It's pushing it away. And if we're doing in the abstract world, I'll put a little scattered around the tile a little bit. And see, now I'm just kind of giving a little dabby dab. So sometimes I like to use gravity, so I have a paper towel underneath, and I'm just going to let it roll down a little bit. I'm already digging this. This is so pretty. So it gets dry really fast. That's the beauty of the alcohol, because the alcohol, when it drops onto a slick surface, it dries really fast, so the pigment stays. So what I like to do sometimes is wetten it up a little bit, as if when you're using acrylic paint, you would dip your paint brush in the water. This alcohol spray is doing the same thing essentially. So when I spray it on there, hold on to your hats now. I'm going to give it a little squirt, and look what happens. It pushes that alcohol away and causes these beautiful little circles. So I'm going to give it another. That was not much of a spray, and let me tell you right now. But I really like this part, so I want to protect it if I spray again. So I'm going to take just a piece of Yupo. You can use a paper towel or your hand or whatever's available to you. And I'm just gonna spray that part up top. And I'll throw a little bit of ink on there, very, very carefully, of course. And we'll just give this another whirl now. See how you can see that it's dripping now for sure. And back this away. I love the way those little lines go down, right? Those little tendrils. So beautiful. All right, we see a lot of things happening in this already. Isn't that nice with just a little bit of blue there? I'm gonna put a little more blue, I think, in that other corner. Just a little bit. Yes. Oh, I love the way that's pushing through. And I want to give this a little more red as well up in here. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Let's try just a little more green. I don't want the blue to be so pronounced. I'm going to tell you something that's shocking. A little more green up in here. Sometimes you can have a finished piece with alcohol inks in less than a minute. And, you know, that's okay. You don't have to always struggle, do you? Can't we just have something fantastic in a minute or two? Isn't that nice for a change? I know sometimes we struggle and struggle and struggle. But there is no struggle with alcohol ink. And the beauty, wow, I'm digging this so much. And the beauty with alcohol ink is that if you don't love it, you can just get rid of it, especially on tile. You can't, you can just wipe it away. I'm not gonna wipe this away though. I think this is really cool. But there's one spot, this blue spot, that I just think is too much, so I want to spray it, but I don't want anything else to get wet with the alcohol. So I'm going to take a handy dandy paper towel, and I pulled a little hole in it, and I'll lay it on top. Now most of the other tile is dry already. Take my other piece of Yupo and just give it a little squirt. I like to call this the mall spray, when you kind of just, yeah. Let's see how that looks. Oh boy. All right. So if I just put a little green through there. Yeah. Just a little bit. And here comes another tendril. I love that. I'm pulling it back. Now for me, I love the dark areas. Oh, I like that with the blue too now. So yeah, the dark areas really make the light areas pop. So we have over here all this darkness, which is really nice. I always, oh, isn't that pretty with just the blue? And I think, you know what, we need a little more blue on the other side now, don't we? This is what happens. You can have something fantastic, and then guess what? You put a little extra dab on, and it's not so fantastic anymore. But not to worry, because in another 45 seconds you can have something fabulous again. So keep the faith. All right. I like the way that little drop of blue there went. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go for it and just put a little, just a little dab will do ya. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. See, this is what I got to stop now. Giving a little blow, because I want it to dry. So yes, the darks and the lights. Rosalie Mack says, she was a drawing teacher that I had, and she said, make your darks darker and your lights lighter. And I'll tell you what, that has been information that I have taken with me wherever I go. Okay, so I love this, and I'm thinking that it's probably near done, but I'm going to take a little alcohol, straight up alcohol, 91% remember, and my handy dandy Q-tip. Ooh, I'm really pulling out all the stops now. And I think that some of this spots are a little bit too dark, even for me and Rosalie Mack. So I'm just rolling my Q-tip on it. Now it's going to activate, so to speak, this ink, but that's okay. I kind of like the way that is activating it. You don't want to put too much on, otherwise it'll just Oh yeah, that's nice. All right, and then sometimes these lines, look at how pretty that's turning with the pink. Now these are just the 3 colors, remember? Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of dab these lines, gonna soften them a little bit. Creates a different level of depth. But I really like this dark here, and I love the way this little blue spot stayed. So I'm definitely keeping that there. And I'm gonna stop. It's like that, what was the name of that show? Where that thing would pop up and you'd have to hit the button to say stop. That's what I have to do sometimes. Stop. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. Beautiful. It has so much color and depth, so pretty. So just play with it, y'all. You have the power to do whatever you want with this. And if you don't like it, remember you can wash it away with just a little bit of alcohol. And here it is with just a little bit of light on it. Isn't that lovely? Okay, on to the next tile. Now I'm doing this in speed mode because you kind of get the idea of what's happening now. I'm using 2 inks only this time, and it's Pinata inks. That's tangerine there, and I'm putting on some lime green on the other side. You can tell already that these inks, the Pinatas, are highly saturated, much more so than the Ranger inks, and they are beautiful. They create so much depth. Sometimes they're really dark though, so I'm covering that half of the paper towel and I'm squirting that other half, and now you can see the green coming through. So pretty. Just dropping a little more alcohol on that to lighten it up. And again, moving it back and forth. That's really one of the things I love to do, just moving it back and forth, letting that ink flow organically. And you can see all those shadows and tendrils and yummy spots. Oh boy, it's beautiful. So I just add as I go along. Oh, I have a little paintbrush out to kind of clean up some of those harsher lines. That's something I do sometimes. It just depends. Sometimes I like those hard lines and sometimes not so much. And I dab too with a little paper towel if it gets too much, or if I see it moving in a direction I'm really not wanting it to go, then I like to dab it to stop the ink flow with the paper towel. So yeah, look at that. Wow, gorgeous. Now here's a photograph of that same tile with just a little bit extra light on it. And I mean the depth and beauty of that. Whew, out of this world. So I just wanted to mention framing tile. I use these shadow boxes that I can get at Michael's or IKEA, and they just provide a beautiful presentation for these lovely little tiles. So I hope you enjoyed. All right, this last demo is with Yupo paper, and I'm only going to use 1 color. Can you imagine? Okay, lastly, I'm going to show you the beauty of alcohol ink with 1 color. Now this color is Slate by Ranger, and it's a gray color, and it's on Yupo paper. And right now I'm just moving it around with the end of a straw. So the straws add a lot of texture too, and that's a whole other demo with straws that I'm not gonna do today, but just check out YouTube if you like. So anyway, in my usual manner of carefulness, I drop that ink all over the place and I'm watching it bloom. And what I'm demonstrating with this 1 color only, slate in this particular case, is that the color has different hues and pigments within it. So not only is there gray in there, but there's also blue and pink. Much like all the colors of the inks, they have different hues, and it's so much fun to play with them. Now right there I was just putting the paper towel down so I could spray certain areas and not spray the whole thing, because I like to control that spray a little bit, and I pick up sometimes some extra ink with the paper towel. And again, turning it around, so important to get a good look at things. It is gorgeous. Slate, 1 color. Can you imagine? All right, this beauty is done. And here is a beautiful photograph. Just lovely. All right, now that you've made all these beautiful pieces, you want to protect them. Alcohol inks can be sensitive to UV rays and may fade, so there's several things you can do. Firstly is Kmar Varnish by Krylon. It will help seal the inks into place. So when you put your UV spray on top of it, they will not smear. So Kmar number 1, UV number 2. These are a must to protect your paintings. After that, you can use art resin, or you could do a glossy spray varnish on top. Whatever you like would be good. And then there's alternatives, of course. You could use 99% UV glass, which would absolutely protect the paintings from any UV rays. Or you could have them scanned by a professional to make a giclée or an archival print out of them. That's a great option to use. And there's plenty of resources online through Facebook, YouTube, JillTheArtist.com. I heard she is fabulous. And then you also have Pigments of Your Imagination by Kathy Taylor. This is an awesome book with lots of different things you can do with alcohol ink. In review, all you need to get started is some alcohol ink, glossy Tyler Yupo, 91% alcohol, and your imagination. This demo today was just little seeds to give you inspiration for more creative juices flowing. All right, thank you so much for joining me for today's demo, and thank you to Florida Watercolor Society for allowing me to do this, and maybe we'll see each other soon. If you have any questions, feel free to email me through my website, JillTheArtist.com. Take care and have a great day.